Hey guys, so there hasn't been any videos this week. It's the deload week. I compete tomorrow. So what I thought I would do instead of showing you really boring workout footage where I'm working at about 50%, instead I've decided to put together a video of me putting my bag together for tomorrow. So I'm just going to go over what I'm bringing on the day, kit-wise. I'm not going to go through food because that could be a whole video in itself, and I'm a bit of a potato when it comes to putting together food for the meet because I just eat everything. And yeah, so basically just the kit I'm taking, why I'm taking it, and the things that you might find useful. Okay, so first thing for me that I pack is shoes. So I've got two different pairs of shoes here. The first pair are my Adidas weightlifting or Powerlift 2.0 shoes, and they've got a slight heel on them, as you can see, and a lot of people like to wear these for squats. I used to wear them for squats, and I have done it previous meets, but this meet I'm actually going for flats for my squats. The reason I'm taking these is I like to wear them for bench press. I feel I can get into a better position with my foot flat on the ground because they have obviously got the flat sole and the slightly raised heel, so it just makes it a little bit easier for me on the bench press. So that's the first pair of shoes. Second pair of shoes are my Reebok TR somethings, I don't really know. Really nice shoe, big flat sole, lots of surface area, and these are the ones that I wear for squat and deadlift. I would wear these for bench as well if I was in a different federation, but the federation that I compete in, the IPF, I need to have a flat foot on the ground, and I prefer the weightlifting shoes for that. Next thing I'm going to pack is my belt. So I have a 13mm Strength Shop lever belt, and it's a great belt. I wouldn't say it's the best belt on the market. The thing that is good about it is IPF approved, and it's good value for money. I could have paid for an Inzer belt, but the price mark on one of those is about £50–60 more in the UK because obviously it's an American supplier, and these belts have a UK supplier and are much cheaper. So by far not the best belt you can get on the market. It's quite a soft belt, which for some might be quite nice, but a firmer belt gives you that bit more confidence and support. But for the money and sort of what it is, it's actually a really nice belt, and something I would recommend for anyone going into their first meet or who are unsure about competing and they just want to kind of bring their strength on in their lifts. Next thing I have here are my SBD knee sleeves. So these I'll just wear in my squat, so I won't wear these for anything other than the squat on the day. These are really good, really strong knee sleeves. They give you a lot of support, particularly in the hole. You feel a bit of spring out of them. I wear mediums. It's a nice tight fit, and I tend not to wear them apart from in the last 4 or 5 weeks leading up to the meet, and then on the meet day. So I'll keep them nice and keep them from getting stretched out. Next up, I have my wrist wraps. So I have two pairs of wrist wraps, and I'm going to bring both of them with me on the day, just in case for one reason or another they don't pass inspection. So be it just the standard of the wrap has deteriorated over time, or else they're just not happy. So both of these wraps are IPF approved. I have the Mark Bell Gangster wraps and also the Titan titanium wraps as well. On the day, I'm probably going to use the Titan titanium wraps. They're a slightly stiffer wrap, and they're slightly longer as well. You can get longer gangster wraps, but I went for the short ones. And basically, I have worn these at my previous meets that I've done, and I really like the support they give. They're a little bit more uncomfortable on the skin, but that's just sort of the pros and cons really. Really nice wrap, nice and tough, and they're a nice starter wrap because they're not too tough, but they're not a completely sort of light wrap like your sort of cheap Body Max ones that you might get on Amazon. Next meet I go to, I'll probably upgrade these and get some gold signature ones from Titan, much stiffer wrap. So see how that goes. Might order a pair of those for sort of the next meet that I have. But again, these were really good value for money, and I do thoroughly recommend them to anyone going into their first meet or looking to protect their wrists on the bench press. Next 3 items are my clothing. So the first one here is a singlet. It's from Strength Shop. Make sure if you are competing in the IPF or any federation for that matter, that your clothing is approved for that federation. So I have my Strength Shop singlet there, Strength Shop deadlift socks, and then just a plain black t-shirt, so nothing very interesting. But as I say, just make sure whatever federation you're competing in, you get the correct equipment which is approved in that federation. Next thing I have here is the notorious nose torque. Basically what it is ammonium smelling salts, extremely strong, much stronger than you get with the Mackenzie smelling salts or anything like that you might buy at your pharmacy. You can only really get these online from sort of strength websites. Really good. I tend not to use them until sort of the third lift at the meet, so it would be the 3rd squat, 3rd bench and 3rd deadlift. I mean, this meet I think I'm going to give them a miss until at least bench press, to kind of try and keep myself composed and not use as much energy before my sort of bench and deadlift, so I can give it all on the platform. There we are. Next 2 things I have are, I've just got a box of chalk here, so that'll do me for the day. I'll have more than enough and I can share with other people as well. So usually there is a chalk stand at the meet with chalk provided by the federation, but this is just nice and compact for the warm-up room, so if I do need chalk while warming up, which I will, I'll be able to chalk up myself through the back. One thing that I've completely forgotten to get for this meet is baby powder. I like to use baby powder on my quads when if I'm doing my deadlift to help the bar so it doesn't stick to my legs. So that's something I'm going to have to go out and buy, but baby powder is really good. One thing to watch is make sure you get someone else to put it on your legs for you, and that you don't get any on your hands before you lift, because it does the opposite of chalk and it will make your grip fail. Last but not least, I have all my mobility equipment. So I have a trigger point foam roller. This is the best foam roller I've ever used. I've sort of used multiple different ones and owned about 3 or 4 different kinds as well. So I've used a rumble roller, just a standard foam one. I've used PVC piping, but this is the best one that I've ever used. It's got a nice strong center, which is a bit like a PVC pipe, and then kind of about sort of 10 mil of foam on the outside. Really good. You just use that to get warmed up before I start my lifts. Next thing is this massage stick. So it's essentially a tiger tail, like you might see the likes of Eric Lillibridge using, and yeah, just really good piece of equipment. Nice for getting into the hamstrings, the adductors, and also into the quads pre-lift, just to get the blood flow into the muscle. The last kind of piece of mobility equipment is just the lacrosse ball. So this is, well, it's not a lacrosse ball, but it's a nice hard firm ball, which I'll use to just smash into my glutes before I lift. So if there's any knots or anything like that, especially, I sometimes use it in my back as well, but especially the glutes, I use this just to fire in and get some blood flowing and loosen off the tissue. Okay, so a couple of things I haven't mentioned so far, which can be really useful to bring on the day, are some pens. More than one pen. One might stop working. They're really useful for filling in attempt cards and that sort of thing. Just all around, it should be something you carry anyway. Most of us are students or we work in jobs where we use a pen, so really we've got no excuse. Another thing which can be really useful on the day is toilet paper. If you think of all the big guys who are lifting and all the food they're eating has got to go somewhere, the toilets get blown up at a meet and it's not a pretty sight, so make sure you bring some toilet paper. You don't want to get caught short and left in a sticky situation. Another thing which is really good to bring is a phone charger and headphones. Make sure you've got music, something to keep you calm between your lifts, and then something maybe to get you hyped up before your lift if you like to get into the mindset and fired up for lifts. Just really useful to have a pair of headphones with you. You can really just zone out and play your own game rather than focusing on what everyone else is doing and stressing yourself out. And also, if you're this kind of person who trains with music as well, it just keeps things as similar as possible to a training session for you, so that you don't get stressed out on the day. And the phone charger, obviously, because who really has a good battery life on their phone these days? They claim to be multiple hours, but in reality it's never quite what they claim. So the phone charger and headphones are really important.